All right, welcome. This is the first Lego League for PA East, New Jersey, North, and Delaware. This is Explore New Coach Training. We're going to record this for the people who weren't here. Um, I did have some problems, and I'm sorry. We sort of worked them out, and we'll try better next time. First of all, I want to start by thanking you. We could not do this without all the mentors and coaches and administrators. In fact, this season we won an award all through all of first. PA East won an award for sustaining the most number of teams um, through the season. And that was, we got a nice little trophy for it, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm working on getting that. So I can't do it without all of you participating and helping out. So what is first? Um, First is, believe it or not down at the explore level, but first really is a competitive sport. It does all the things that a sport does. It puts students sometimes in pretty intense situations. It makes them think. It makes them work with other people. You may not hit a bat or a ball, but you may describe something that you're doing in your festival that shows that you've learned something and taken a step beyond where you were. It's more than robots. It's life experience, opportunity, community. I have been doing it almost 30 years. All my kids went through it, and it's been amazing. It's been a great time. Um, so we, First Mid Atlantic, is um, an organization that runs these events for First, and First has basic three programs that they run. One is called Lego League, of which there are several components, including Explore and Challenge. There's First Tech Challenge, and that's for students who are ages 12 to 18. That's like junior high school, seventh and eighth grade, all the way up through high school. The robot's a little bit smaller, so it's a little cheaper. So it's a little more cost effective for people to do it. And then there's the first robotics competition. That robot weighs 150 pounds, fully loaded with the batteries and everything. And it does leave a mark and would hit you because I've been hit by them many times. But that's really where you get a lot of kids working with um, experienced engineers, developing different ideas and learning things they never thought they could. And all of it helps them be inspired to take on STEM careers. So it's pretty exciting stuff. So we do, this is all about skills, right? STEM awareness, skills. Um, Prod these children to think about things they've never thought about, especially down in explore levels. Think about things that, well, how does this work? And you ask the question and they look at you like you got five heads. And by the time you're done, they know how it works. They know how it's done. They know how to build something. They know how to innovate. Oh, let's try this. Let's try that. I have an idea. I mean, that's all the kind of things we want them to do. Take ownership of something, lead the charge on making something happen. And obviously, this is 21st century skills. All right. This is what we are doing. This is why we're doing it, because we know we're going to need these students in our economy and in our country. We're going to need people that can think and people that can create. Okay. So I don't have to read this whole screen to you. You get the idea. It's been around for since 1989. I started in 1997 um, at Lanesville Catholic High School. Millions of volunteer hours like yourselves around the world. Um, Thousands of events. We in PA East, New Jersey, North, and Delaware, I think I have 40 events, which is pretty exciting. Um, we're one of the biggest, we're one of the most densely packed regions in the country. Um, and you can see as the kids get older, 83% of first alumni declare for STEM majors, which is exciting. That's exactly what we're trying to do it. And for women, I have two daughters who went through the program, and it turned them into warrior princesses. Let me tell you, both of them are now teachers. One of them was in the biomedical business and didn't like it. It was all about the directors and making money, and so she was pretty disillusioned by it. So now she's a teacher and she teaches robots. She teaches robots at Springside Chestnut Hill Academy. All right. Okay. So the explore impact. So these are the key findings from Lawrence Hall of Science at UC Berkeley. They did a FLL explore study from 1999 to 22. And you can see the kids basically were brimming with STEM ideas and understanding of the whole idea that, hey, I can make a decision. Hey, I can do something. Hey, I can do this. Hey, I can do that. And it's very exciting to have your Explore students come out looking at the world differently. I always tell my grandkids, I have 7 grandkids. I always tell my grandkids, once you start thinking about this stuff, you're going to look at the world from a whole different perspective. All right. And that's really very true. And that's what we're trying to get these kids to do. Now, think about long-term impact, right? If these kids stay in the program all the way up through high school, you can see that what happens is a lot of them ends up. I was just talking to a former student on a team that I was with Lansdale Catholic. She's 4 years into her PhD in mech engineering. And looks like the same kid that she was, but she's making a career for herself in mechanical engineering. So it's very exciting to see these kids come back. Sometimes they would come back and say, I'd say to them, "Oh, what are you doing?" And they'd say, "Oh, I went to computer science." Really? Really? Why'd you decide that? And the kid looks at me and goes, "Are you kidding me? You told me I could do it." "Oh, yeah, yeah, right. No, yeah, yeah, you could do it. You could do it." And they did. They went off and did it. So it's pretty exciting. So first is this global community started up in New Hampshire by Dean Kamen and company, the people up there, up in New Hampshire. And a number of years ago, they broke it out into what we call districts. And we, First Mid-Atlantic, are one of those districts. Our district is New Jersey, Delaware, and Eastern Pennsylvania. For First Lego League, we cover that, but it's Northern New Jersey, Eastern Pennsylvania, and then we just picked up Delaware this season. The person who was doing Delaware decided not to do it anymore. So we're growing. All in, we're about 1,000 teams. That's 1,000 teams of Explore as well as FLL Challenge. So this is where we are: PA East, New Jersey North, and Delaware. Now Delaware, and we have positions called PDPs, a Program Delivery Partner. I am, besides being the FLL director for FMA, meaning I'm supposed to take care of the whole thing, along with these other PDPs, Program Delivery Partners. I'm also the PDP for PA East. Ernie DeSico is PDP for New Jersey North. Ernie's been doing it longer than I have, and I've been doing it a long time. Down in Delaware, we have some new PDPs, Joanne and Wayne Morton. Their kids sucked them into getting to do this stuff, dragging them all over the place, and now they're Program Delivery Partners. Ultimately, it'd be great if we get the whole state of Pennsylvania, because once you have the whole state of something, you can now get state money to help you run some of this stuff. So that would be great. I created this. It's a FMA Explore distribution. If you go to on our website, midatlanticrobotics.com/FLL, you can go to about FMA, and you'll see this. There'll also be red dots turned on. You can go into that thing and turn them off. But what this is showing you is the distribution of Explore teams within our footprints. Okay, the dark green are New Jersey North. The medium kind of green, that's more like PA East, and then the ones down back and down below in Delaware are Delaware. You can actually go in there and see the teams listed that are under that city and zip code. Now, what's interesting is if you go to Philadelphia and click one of those, you might find 120 teams under one zip code, and that's because they're all in the schools there, and all of them together are under that one bubble. Okay, so the other portion of Lego League that we deal with is called Challenge, and that's for 9 to 14-year-olds. This is what you might find at a competition. They have a mat and those things they're actually working on the floor trying to get their robots working better. They do have practice tables, but a lot of teams put them on the floor out in the hallway and sit there and do it. And the interesting thing here is the two girls on the left are on one team. The girl on the right is on a different team. And what I do is I walk around and go, can she try her thing while you guys are doing that? Oh yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. So they share, and we try to make sure everybody has access to a mat. Lego League Explore introduces the 6-year-olds to the fun of science and technology, right? Again, this is something they've never seen before, but it gets them into it. It says a mini challenge based on a research project. This year, as you know, it's called Unearthed. So it's about archaeology and how can we help archaeologists. But it's really just a way for them to look at a topic, think about it, write about it, draw pictures about it, have discussions about it, and then explain it. Explain it to the reviewers when they go to a festival. Okay, they create a poster, trifold poster, and they also build a running a diorama of something going on. It could be anything, and they make it up. And then I love to go over and because I'm tall, I love to get on my hands and knees and get to their eye level and say, okay, what are we doing here? And they tell you all about it. It's really a lot of fun to listen to them. So like I said, it's called Unearthed. So welcome to Unearthed. Every artifact unfolds a story. Each tool, each innovation, each work of art connects us to the people and ideas that came before us. Using STEM skills and teamwork today, we can dig deeper into discoveries than ever before, right? So that's what we want them to do: is think about archaeology, think about digging deeper and things like that. You might go to, in fact, I called a couple of the museums in Philadelphia to say, hey, we've got this thing going on. I'd like you to think about maybe having an archaeology day, and we could have you. We could show our teams what's going on. So we'll figure out if that's going to happen. Don't know, but we certainly I'm going to kick the can down the road a little bit and see if we can get that to happen. So a team is between 2 and 6 students. Back when we were in COVID, we were allowed to have 1, but not anymore. It's got to be 2, ages 6 to 8. Sometimes somebody will come and say, I have a kid who's 5 3/4. Can I get him on a team? And we usually allow it. But if the child is 9, we usually want them to go up into challenge, because by the time they get to be older, it gets to be a problem because they would be bored by a lot of this. Got to have at least 2 coaches. You got to go through first youth protection checks, their protection checks, and starting this year, you also have to go through PA Act 153 clearances if you're in Pennsylvania. I had mine from a couple of years ago. They're good for 5 years, and mine weren't up yet. But I went and used the links that first provided us, and I redid them all. And within a week, I was finished. I just got my child background check back today, and I pushed it up to the space that first has for us putting that information on them, and they'll keep track of it. We used to have to do, and it really was a lot of work. So there's really no technical expertise required, but it helps if you have somebody who can program, or you spend a little time learning, because it's not that hard. You do get Explore guides outlining 12 lessons, and those lessons provide about 2 hours or an hour and a half. It's tough sometimes to keep these kids' interest, but it walks them through the kinds of things that they want you to be talking about for this project. You build and program a presentation using Lego Spike Essentials core set or a We Do 2.0 set, and you must purchase those. The We Do 2.0 is an older set. The Spike Core Essentials is good because if and when these kids grow up and you move up into Challenge, you can take those Spike Essentials and use them on a Spike Prime kit. So you can move up with that. So if you think about it, if you have a child who's 7 and you want to get them going, you start a team with their friends, and they all move up all the way through grammar school, all the way through middle school, up till they're 8. till eighth grade, and then they move on. And now you've had that kit all the way along. If you start a team with a bunch of parents, you maybe charge them each $100, and now that helps offset the cost of buying some of these kits. Now, you can attend 2 Explore festivals to show off your work. And there is a whole document out there that's describing how the registration works. The cost for well, we'll get to that in a minute. But you can go to 2 festivals. It used to be 1. I made the system so that we could do 2. The idea is you're spending a lot of time doing this. Just going to 1 and done really, really isn't a lot of fun. So you can go to 2. All right. So if you go to our website, midatlanticrobotics.com/FLL, and look up team info, explore team info, you can see coaches required reading. That has all of the things that you really have to look at, that I want you to look at to kind of know what's going on. Now, some of it might be a lot to take in, but you need to look at some of this stuff and get ready for it. A Saturday afternoon sitting and going through it might be the best way to do it. Some people tell me that they can't stand reading all this stuff. Believe me, I don't like writing all this stuff, but I would rather over communicate than under communicate to make sure that everything is working. So what does it cost? You both have already signed up. You can see what the costs are. So your first year, it's about $800, and then after that, it's just a little under $500 to keep the thing running. You're gonna need a new Seasons Explorer set, so that's the 145. So you get the idea. So like I said, if you ask each parent to throw in $500 or even more, $100, or $150, now you can buy shirts. Now, some teams have the same name forever, and other teams do not, and so they keep changing it. If you keep changing the name, it means you got to keep changing the T-shirt. So that gets to be a little bit of a problem, but you work that out. All right, so what do you get from first? So one of the things you do is get an Explorer kit. Now you'll notice this says submerged. That's because I was a little preoccupied and I didn't check the appropriate box, so I didn't get my version of an Explorer kit. But this is what it would look like. All of the bags are numbered, and you'll have instructions about how to put it all together. And so you would be able to get all of these pieces put together, and they're used in your diorama. You also get a couple of guides. You get a team meeting guide and an engineering notebook guide. The team meeting guide is going to show you the 12 lessons coaches can follow, right? Now, you don't have to use it. You don't have to follow those. But if it's your first year, you may want to, just so that you're organized in what you're doing each session. After that, you can figure out what you want to do. There's plenty of resources around here well, at least in Philadelphia. I did find 3 museums I know of that you could go talk to an archaeologist if they're there. So I'm trying to set something up. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see. But you can go and just talk to them and say, what do we want to know about archaeology? Maybe there's a theme that you could pick, and then you guys could all work towards that theme. The internet is a great resource. YouTube videos, there's all kinds of stuff out there. It's just amazing what's out there. So you'd be able to see that stuff too. The other thing is your engineering notebook. It encourages students to put thoughts down on paper. As an engineer, and you can tell them, look, as an engineer, it doesn't exist if it's not written down. You can have the greatest idea in the world, but if it's not written down, it doesn't exist. Professionally, I hated writing documents until I realized exactly what I just said. It doesn't exist until you can go into a meeting and talk about something. Once it's written down, it exists. And now you can just say, oh, did you read the document? And I used to have people, well, I don't have time to read the document. I say, well, I'm not sitting here telling you what it's doing. Read the document. So it's important that they get the idea. Draw pictures, stick figures, whatever they want. It doesn't matter. They don't have to. Penmanship, forget about it. Who cares? We want you to have pictures. And maybe you could have them draw pictures in their engineering notebook while they're home and then come in and explain it to people. Because that explain it to people is a very, very important part of this. We want them to be able to talk. We want them to be able to explain their ideas, right? And you know, I was in film school, and I remember going to a class full of 30 people, and we would sit there, and everybody showed their film, and he would go around the room and say, "Well, what did you think? What did you think?" And some people are like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know." And he finally said to us, "Look, you have to form an opinion. You have to have an idea. You have to tell us." And he forced us into doing that. And it actually was a great thing because now I always have, well, okay, here's why I liked it and didn't like it. It's the same thing you're doing here. But really, it's just to get them to talk about what they're doing. So what's the season like? Well, we're already in September. I have a weekly call starting, I think it's next week. Let's be frank, open mic night. Basically, come on in and you can talk about anything you want. I do have to update the link as I did with you guys. So we're going to have to, I'm going to have to fix that. We're doing coach trainings now, and we start them now because a lot of schools are not in place. They're just getting started. So that's why that's beginning now. Once we hit mid-October, that's when the festival registrations will begin to open. I have a website out there that does this. If you want to click it now, you can go check it out. Go try to register. You'll be able to go through the motion, but the registration system is not. We're accepting the information, but it won't count. We will erase all the information and restart it again. I believe it's the 13th of October. And it's first come, first serve. So if you want to get to an event that you know you want to be in, try to be there at 7:30 on October 13th at 7:30, and you'll be able to enter your thing. When you enter it, you need to include an email of one of the coaches on your team, so I know that that team number is now associated with that coach. And my data that I get from First will let me see that. If it doesn't match, then I will email somebody and say, "Hey, we got a problem here. What's going on?" And we'll correct your entry. Okay? You can go look at the calendars to see where all the events are going to be and times and all of that kind of stuff. Okay? So then we're going to have festivals. New Jersey North is going to have them in November and December. PA East is all going to also have them in probably December. I don't think there might be one or two in January, but a lot of times we have what are called RQTs, regional qualifying tournaments. An RQT is where the challenge teams go and run. They may have a festival alongside of the RQT. And what would happen is you would probably go in the morning. The kids would go through their meetings with the reviewers, and then they would have a ceremony to give out trophies or however they do it with certificates. And if you're at an RQT, they are probably going to do that in front of all of the audience that's there. So the kids will get to come up and accept their award, giving high fives to the judges. We hope that they do it that way. We're going to encourage them to do it that way. Sometimes they can't, but that's typically what they'll do. And it's to get the kid excited about, being part of something. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think the other stuff, as long as there's two festivals, as long as the details are in the participation and registration document. I'm just finishing that up. I had to make some changes, and that'll be out. Oh, and I have a 202425. Got to correct that. Okay. So what's a festival? A festival can be anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. 3 hours, and the kids are laying on the floor, looking up under the table. You'll get team registration and opening ceremony. Then the reviewing starts, and they'll take each team one at a time. The reviewers may come out to your table and talk to them. We're starting to do that more. It used to be where you would carry all of your stuff into a reviewing room, but sometimes the stuff is all over the place, and if they drop it, not good. Depends on the event that you go to. If they are going to have you carry it, I suggest you put all of your stuff onto a board or something so it's in one place and you pick it up and carefully move it. Now, what should also be going on is during the reviewing process, there may be other STEM activities. There might be an FRC team there showing off their robot. There might be an FTC team or a challenge, a FTC or an FRC robot showing off they have other things that they might be doing. There's usually other things going on. And then there's a recognition ceremony. This says it's 12:30. It could be 11:30. Like I said, it's between 2 and 3 hours. And everybody's welcome. Grandparents, parents, everybody's welcome. So when you get to the event, you're going to have your pit location. And this is going to contain all of your stuff. Now, you can see it's a small table. It has a trifold. There's your computer. You should have an outlet. You should have one outlet to let you plug your computer in, because I think you actually have to load the program down from the computer in real time to make it work. And the thing could be anything. Could be spinning, could be something. For this, it might be a backhoe, scratching the ground. It might be a dinosaur. Look what we found. We found the bones of a dinosaur. But again, this is just to reflect them talking. They are going to tell me about this, tell me about that. And you want them to not jump on top of each other. You want them to, politely, if one of them happens to talk too much, you might say to them, here's what we want you to say, and then let the others talk. Work it out so they don't jump on top of each other. It's really just to get them involved. So reviewers, honestly, this isn't sexist, but we really like to have 17, older girls, 16 to 18-year-old girls, because the kids don't feel intimidated. The people that get intimidated are men. Sometimes they don't like to talk in front of men. But women, just people that they can relate to and talk to and be friendly with. We had some complaints where, a judge, he thought he was being a judge, and that's why we don't call them judges. And he was being very, very, not very official. And the kids got really freaked out over it and didn't like the experience. We really want the kids to enjoy this. So we try to make sure that they enjoy what they're doing. So we also have something called core values. Core values is summed up in the concept of gracious professionalism. Act in a way to make your grandmother proud. That's it. And essentially, the whole concept was created by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Woody Flowers from MIT. I met him many times. Very nice guy, and just passionate about engineering and passionate about kids and accepting engineering and be excited about it. But we started this because, right away we would have problems with, this team wouldn't do that. This team, was being mean to that team. And if we see it, they're going to lose points. Now, we don't do that here. We got it started here. But if we see it during FLL challenge or FRC or any of them, they're going to lose points, and they may lose because of that. We've seen. I was at an event where one team came to me and said, "These boys keep coming over and making fun of us." So I grabbed them. I said, "Where's your coach?" And they looking at me like, I said, I'm where's your coach? And I went and got the coach, and I brought them off. I don't like to disqualify people. We could disqualify people, but I don't like doing that. Brought them off to the side. And I was very stern with them. And I said, there's a team over there telling me that you guys are bothering them, and you've done it 3 times. And they didn't even deny it, which was good. They were young. And it was because there was an older boy and a couple of younger boys. But the point was, we straightened them out. We told them, if you're gonna do this stuff, just don't come. Don't come. We don't want you here. All right? We want you here to learn and enjoy it and learn from everybody else. That's what we want to teach. The other thing is spirit. Kids can I used to dye my hair. I have lovely white hair. And I used to be on a team where we had green was our color. And I would go get paint and spray paint my head green. We were green and gold. My mustache was a big bushy white mustache. We would make that yellow, and we would make my hair green. And I would walk around like that. And I usually had a tutu on. And, some people are like, what are you doing? I go, it's called spirit. All right. Don't, let's stop being like some teams that I was talking to, they were going to nationals and the team was saying, oh, we're going to dress the kids all up in the same polo shirt and make them look very professional. I said, why don't you dress them in clown costumes and make them look funny so they can show that they're spirit, they have spirit. Because I've seen some teams where they're making the kids stand in line and be quiet. And I go up to the coach, I go, what the hell are you doing? This is not what we want. We want these kids to enjoy what they're doing, and you're scaring the hell out of them. See what I mean? So you want spirit, you want to be funny, you want to have fun, and that's the key. None of this is gonna affect their college degree, except that it's probably going to make it better. So just have fun. That's what we want, and it starts with you. Be silly. I'm a big silly guy. Be silly, and you can do that. You also like flair. Like they all see how they all look together. They all have the bows in their hair and and things around the neck. Dress them the same. Dress like you're a team, and they'll feel like they're a team if they are dressed the same. And silly is good. Silly is good, and all of that stuff makes them feel like they're part of a team, which is good. Now, this is something that we stopped doing because of COVID, but in some competitions, you'll get the coaches, the judges out here and referees, especially if it's at a joint um, challenge and explore festival. And what'll happen is just before lunch, they'll bring the explore teams out, call out their trophies, and then they'll give them a high five where the kids all walk up and give high fives to everybody on the line. And we stopped doing that, but we think they're back, and it's an important part of it because you want your kids to feel good. All right, I've talked enough. Why don't you guys? You got any questions? I think you. Yeah, you go. You both unmuted. Go ahead.
Yes, Frank, yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. I saw on the earlier slide that we are for the Explorer team, we can use Spike Essential Kit. Do we allow the Prime Kit in our league, in our area for the
Here's
Explorer team?
here's the problem. People have asked me, can we use five spike essential kits? And I go, look, we really don't want to start a war over who has bigger dioramas. I don't want one set of kids to feel sorry because they can afford one kit and the one next to them has five. Now you've got a problem. It's not about how big your demo is. It's about how innovative it is. It's about how good it is. We try to limit it to one or two kits, but you're really not supposed to put a spike robot kit in there. All this is doing, people think that they're going to build a robot. No, we don't want you to build a robot. We want you to build a scene that shows what it is you're talking about. And honestly, the best way to do it is go on YouTube and look at YouTube videos of what some of their presentations look like. Okay, we really don't want somebody coming in with 3 or 4 or 5 of those kits in there being able to run motors on 5 different things, because who are we trying to impress? It's not going to impress the judges. The reviewers. If anything, it's going to make us not happy because what you're doing is making the other kids feel bad, and we don't want that. There's really no reason to do that because some of them can't afford it. So we're trying to limit the arms race to like one kit, 1 or 2. Okay.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess for my team, it's more like some of the older kids, they were already using the Prime Kit at
How
home,
old
so
are the
they were
older?
like,
How old are the older kids?
I mean, probably not old. It's just the parent just bought the Prime Kit instead of the Essential, so that's why he's used to that. But I think I understand your point, and I think that's good because then I can tell that for
And
the
tell them we don't
yeah yeah
want.
yeah.
We're not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about creating something that's now if one of those kids wants to put together a robot, and you might ask the person who's running the event if he could show it to the other kids and talk about it, about what he built. That might not be too bad because now he's showing something off, but I wouldn't necessarily associate it with your team. You could say this is something he's been doing on his own, and it might be
Yeah.
interesting for the other kids to see it and how it works and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
if you have that pressure from the parents to do that,
Mm,
because this is what happens is you get the pressure from the parents who, oh, we're not doing enough, and I'm like, guys, you're not. They all think that it's going to be judged and there's going to be awards based on this, that, and the other thing, but it's not. We're just
Yeah.
doing it to get the kids to think about something and talk to you about it.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
I think once the parents also once they have the experience, they will also realize yeah what you were
I
saying.
mean, if they,
So
I
yeah,
mean, are these children any of them 9 years old?
no,
Okay. Yeah. See,
they're all like
we will allow 8-year-olds to go up into explore into challenge, but only if there's other 9-year-olds and older there.
I see.
Sometimes they go, my kid is, 8 3/4. All right. They can go on the team, and I'm allowed to do that. I have the leeway to do that.
Okay,
Some people are
got
telling
it.
me the kid's 6 and he works very well with middle schoolers. No, sorry, that's not going to happen. Go ahead.
I see. And also like I am just thinking of the logistics. So between the two festival, do the team members have to stay the same? Because I was thinking some people might, drop off in between two festivals, or I
No,
mean, depending on how close the two festivals are, right? I mean, one will probably be in November, and then the other one will probably be in 2026, like
well, it might be
January.
January, it might be December. Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
are you in New Jersey or in PA?
Yes, I'm in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have yours will be in November and December. You might have some
Oh,
in
okay.
January. Go look at the calendar. I don't know the
I
calendar.
right now I saw one in November and then two in
Yeah, and in
January.
fact, they have. I think they. Yeah. That could be it. And it may be that kids drop. That's okay. As long as you have 2 kids, you're fine.
Oh, but if one kid drop or they couldn't make it to for say like the second one, can I don't know, can
You
I
can you
put
can mix and
someone?
match any way you like as long as their name is on the roster.
Okay.
I mean, what
Okay. So
happens if
if like
kid gets sick?
mhm. Yeah, okay. So
Not
if
a
I
problem.
have like I guess I have like a kid wanna join like later on to
That's
replace,
fine. As long
that's
as
fine.
they're on the
Okay.
roster, when you get to
Okay.
the competition, you're fine. Add them to the roster.
Okay, sounds good. And then one last thing is like you said October 13, 7:30. Is it in the morning or at night, the
PM.
registration?
PM.
Okay, PM.
Well, because we have a lot of teachers. You can go into the
Mm-hmm.
thing and go do it. You can go do it now and try it. Kick the tires. And I didn't put it
Okay.
out officially that we're doing it's now in review mode. You'll see it. There's a checkbox. Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
I put in and then I went to the last page. I didn't submit, but I did go
Go
to the
ahead,
last
submit it. It
page.
doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Submit it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay.
Thanks.
And you should understand that the way it's going to work is in the first half hour, we're probably going to get 150 entries of people. People crush it. And the only way to be able to support that is to use a Google form. The Google form is dumb and doesn't know any of the information. I have to post process everything. And there'll be times when there's a mistake, like somebody will misspell the email of the coach or whatever on the team. And it won't match the team number. Something's wrong. And so I take the first 2 weeks and I email the teams and say, we have a problem. We had this and the thing. What do you want to do? And I can go in and manually fix those. And we get that all fixed up. And then after that, it's just first come, first serve. I mean, this is first come, first serve too, but we don't produce the results until 2 weeks after the opening. And then we'll send you out an invoice and you're going to pay First Mid-Atlantic. Okay? Any other questions? Kevin, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here, Frank. Thanks for checking in.
Yep.
Hey, so I guess our team is part of Downtown Aero Robotics.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So Scott's over there running that I guess the sessions, and he's great.
Yep.
So the October 13th event, do we have to register, or is that something he's going to take care
Is
of
that
for
one of his
us?
scrimmages?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't
think
have it on
it's
my calendar.
yeah, that's one of his scrimmages, I believe. And then you
Okay.
register with him.
Okay.
It's being run by DAR, right? It's being run by them.
It doesn't say on the website. It just says FL registration opens October 13th, 2025.
Oh, I
So
think that's for the teams in New Jersey. Are you're not, you're Downingtown.
yes, that's right.
Yeah. That's for the teams in New Jersey.
Okay, gotcha. Trying to make the most of this web page, but yeah, there's so much varying team information here, I guess. But yeah, all right, sounds good. I mean, so from a timing perspective, because we're part of this, big group, I guess Scott's gonna really have these dates lined up, and he's gonna share that with us. Are there any key dates that you think you want the coaches to target for, and any like key objectives for having the project, being ready by, and then of course then we have to have the scrimmage and stuff. So any thoughts on key dates that we should plan for?
Just play it by ear the first time. I mean, it's your first time doing it. Remember, there's no pressure. There's really no pressure. It's really just get the kids so they can talk, make sure they're having fun, make sure they can explain what they're doing, do the diorama, do the trifold board. A lot of teams put their pictures up and the kids' names, and like somebody will have perfect writing for everything and perfect this and perfect that, and you realize they didn't do it. The parents did it, and it's perfect. What I also see is other teams who have lined paper, and the child writes it in their own handwriting what they learned. What did you learn? And they write it in their own. I prefer to see that than perfect writing from parents, because the kid did it and it's their writing. You know what I'm saying? So it's again, it's the whole idea. Oh, we have to put button-down shirts on them so they all look the same and they look professional. No, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be
Okay.
fun. And make it fun.
Definitely.
Make it fun, because that's what it's all about. All right. I think they'll learn more if it's fun. Really, I'm telling you, I see these guys and they're lining them up and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And they get mad at them. I see them yelling at them. Not
No, yeah.
explore, but at the challenge level. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And the kid is, why am I doing this? You just, hey, and you tell them, everybody. And I always tell them when I go in front of an audience, the first thing I usually do is ask them, how many people made a mistake today? And a lot of them put their, they won't put their hands up, but the adults usually all put a hand up. And I go, well, you other guys who don't have your hands up, it means you're not trying hard enough. If you haven't made a mistake today, it means you really aren't trying anything. It's great to watch the TV. You don't make any mistakes. But if you go out there and try something, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. That's okay. Learn from the mistakes and learn how to fix them. You know what I mean? And that's part of it too. We all make mistakes, right? And even when somebody makes a mistake, if the kids start ridiculing them, you take them aside and you go, wait a minute. He made a mistake because he was doing something. He was trying. Okay? He was trying. All right? You other guys are just standing here waiting for him to make a mistake. It happens. Everybody makes mistakes. And you let them get away with it. It's fine. You know what I mean? To me, that's like the biggest lesson I try to, I try to make sure you don't hurt each other. I mean, but, with the tools some of these kids, not at your level, but at the higher level they're using. But it's okay to make mistakes.
Okay. Thank you. You got it.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
both very much. Let me stop.